Hi, I'm Ty Pendlebury, and today we're going to look at how to set up a turntable. They can be a little bit tricky, but with a few simple steps you can set one up yourself. Today we're looking at the impossibly named AT-LPW40WN, which has a number of useful features including an inbuilt phono stage. But if you can set up this turntable, you can set up anyone. So this is the plinth. This is the main part of the turntable and it's what all the other parts attach to. So what you have here is the motor under here, and this is the main spindle. So the next part is the platter. So most budget turntables are belt drive, which means they have a band, a rubber band that drives the platter from the motor. And sometimes it's in the box. It'll either go around the outside of the platter or the inside. And usually you'll find it in the box, but sometimes they pre-attach it to the platter, which is very confusing. And then you just stick it on the spindle like that. So if you put your little fingers in here, you'll find this little rubber band thing. So what you want to do is line it up here with the actual motor and attach it around this little pulley. And that's what drives your platter when you turn it on. Okay, then you've got, most come with a mat, either it's felt or it's rubber. So that just goes on top there. Okay, so next thing you need is you will need your cartridge and headshell. Sometimes they're attached, in this case they're not. So you just slip it in there and it comes with a little wheel there just to make it nice and secure. Now this is actually pre-installed at the factory. Usually you won't have to attach the cartridge to the headshell because that's another video entirely. So today we're just going to presume that most of the stuff was set up at the factory so you don't have to do too much. Okay, now this is the counterweight. This counterbalances the cartridge so that you get a consistent weight on the record when you're playing it. Sometimes this is pre-installed and it's a lot easier when it is. If it's not, you just slip it on the end here. Usually it'll click or something, so you kind of know where it is. So after you've attached the counterweight, the best way to set up your tone arm is to balance it manually. So we just keep adjusting it until it's floating, not touching this lift here or the, God forbid, the bottom of the plinth there. So it's kind of level. Okay, so once that happens, you then need to apply the tracking force of the actual cartridge. It'll tell you in the manual it's usually around 2 grams. So what that means is there's a little wheel here. So you just zero that out. And then you grab both it and the counterweight together and push it forward until the number there reads the amount of tracking force that you want. So in this case, 2 grams, which is just here. So that means then, hopefully, that will have enough force to actually track the record correctly. Next step after setting the tracking force is setting the anti-skate. Some have a little fishing line. This one has a little dial. So if your tracking weight is 2 grams, your anti-skate should be 2 grams as well. So what the anti-skate does is prevent the cartridge from skipping in the middle. So it'll get to the middle and not be able to go across. So it has a counter force to pull it the other way so it'll continue around the record. Okay, so those 2 things are set. That's basically all you really need to do to set up a turntable. Except, obviously now, you guys connect your power and then connect your cables. Okay, so sometimes they're pre-connected and other times they're just a RCA outs. Last thing is a ground wire. There's a little switch here which you connect these little things to at the back, and that connects, there's usually a ground plug on your actual receiver or stereo as well. And you should experiment with that because you may find that there's actually more noise with the ground wire connected than without. So all you really need to do is apply power now. So you can, on this turntable, you have a speed selection switch. So it's 33 or 45 for singles. Some turntables have an external pulley, which means you have to move them physically, the belt from 33 to 45. One thing you need to make sure before you play a record is you take the stylus guard off, or else you're just going to scratch up your record. Okay, so pop it on the platter, turn it on, cue it up. And there you go, listening to vinyl. Okay, now that you've got records playing, there's a couple more tweaks you might want to do. For example, you might want to get your turntable level. Use a bubble app on your telephone just to get it, completely horizontal. Stick some cards under there if it doesn't have adjusting feet. The second thing you might want is a dust cover. I reckon it sounds a lot better without one, but it will protect the workings and your records from getting dust on them. And that's pretty much all you need. Thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned to cnet.com for more information.